Welcome to The Explainer. If you're feeling like the tech world is spinning a little faster than usual today, well, you're definitely not alone. We're looking at a massive AI convergence right now, specifically zoning in on the events of today, July 16th, 2026. We are tracking 4 massive stories that perfectly reveal the unstoppable, accelerating momentum of the entire AI industry. I mean, this is a technological wave moving so fast it's literally reshaping the globe right before our eyes.
Okay, let's dive into this. Larger than the Industrial Revolution, but unfolding over a vastly shorter time frame. This isn't science fiction, folks. This is a direct warning published today by 200 economists and 16 Nobel laureates. We really need to let that sheer scale sink in as a framework for the massive technological shifts we're tracking.
Section 1. Google's flagship stumbles, the race for Gemini 3.5 Pro.
So Google's execution problems with their flagship model are really compounding right now. They missed their June I/O commitment, then the June 30th general availability target came and went, and now they've completely missed the leaked July 17th launch date. Behind the scenes, they're having to rebuild the model to fix some pretty serious structural failures in image generation and something called recursive tool calling, which is basically when an AI tries to talk to itself to solve a complex problem, but it just gets stuck in an endless loop. Which brings us to the number 73%. That is the current prediction market probability for an August 7th launch. Now, in the AI space, weeks are literally like lifetimes. Every single week of delay allows fierce competitors, like OpenAI's GPT 5.6 and Anthropic's Claude Phobal 5, to just further entrench themselves into developer workflows. And this brilliantly illustrates a much deeper crisis going on here, which is a massive talent drain. You've got Gemini's co-lead, Noam Shazir, jumping over to OpenAI. You have Nobel laureate John Jumper and top AI coders like Jonas Adler and Alexander Pritzel leaving for Anthropic. It is a stark reminder that in Silicon Valley, you can have billions of dollars in hardware, but if you lose the brainpower, you lose the race. Section 2, NVIDIA's global AI play, the sovereign strategy. NVIDIA's CEO Jensen Huang just wrapped up a huge visit to Tokyo, and he laid out a fascinating playbook. He said, a nation's intelligence must be nurtured, strengthened, and developed domestically. NVIDIA is no longer just selling a product. They are explicitly positioning their hardware and software as the absolutely mandatory foundational infrastructure for national AI sovereignty. Just look at the sheer scale of the Japanese AI coalition they announced. Jensen Huang unveiled Cosmos 3 Edge, a brand new physical AI world model. And to bring this to life, he locked in tech giants like Fujitsu, Hitachi, and Kawasaki to build robotic digital twins, all backed by a staggering $26.5 billion raise from SK Hynix. He isn't just selling chips anymore. He's literally locking entire nations into a decade-long procurement pipeline for NVIDIA's physical AI agents, right out there on the factory floor. All right, Section 3, AI's double-edged security, the 570 flaw patch Tuesday. 570. That is a shocking, record-breaking number of security flaws Microsoft patched today. It's the largest single patch Tuesday release on record. And the kicker? Internal AI systems were actually credited with finding and prioritizing a significant portion of those exact vulnerabilities. So the crucial point is this cybersecurity paradox we're dealing with. Defensive AI is incredible, right? It identifies vulnerabilities at a scale and speed that humans simply cannot match alone. But offensive AI is doing the exact same thing for threat actors, significantly lowering the technical barrier to develop exploits. Because AI is expanding the attack surface so wildly, it's kind of like playing an infinitely accelerating game of whack-a-mole. The patching cadence absolutely has to evolve right now, from a monthly calendar event into a continuous, non-stop operation.
Which brings us to Section 4, are we ready? The macro warning.
And this brings us all the way back to the Stanford Digital Economy Lab open letter. Look, when 200 economists and 16 Nobel laureates across entirely different ideological lines sign a single document warning about systemic economic disruption and job displacement, that is a consensus signal we absolutely must take seriously. Now, what's truly wild about this is how these completely independent events are all converging simultaneously. You have a looming August 1st U.S. governance framework deadline. The FLI Safety Index is showing most frontier labs are actually failing independent assessments. South Korea just dropped an $880 billion AI plan. And then you have that Stanford open letter. None of these were coordinated, yet they're all converging in the exact same 2-week window. It just proves the sheer unmanageable speed of this transformation.
Which leaves us with this final, absolutely critical thought. Are our human institutions actually adapting fast enough to survive the speed of AI? Because right now, the gap between technological momentum and institutional readiness is widening every single day. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I hope it brought some clarity to an incredibly complex day in tech. Keep questioning, keep learning, and we'll catch you next time.